So let's talk a little bit about infinity. So the concept of infinity basically comes from the idea of that which is greater than anything that you can think of. So imagine the largest number that you can imagine. Let's say 1 followed by 600 zeros. Just add 1 to that and you get a larger number. So you can just repeat this process again and again and again to perpetually keep getting larger and larger numbers. So this apparently never-ending phenomenon is put in the form of an abstraction which we call infinity, which is that which is greater than anything that you can conceive. So you take any number n and add 1 to it, you get n plus 1, which is greater than n. So infinity is the limit of this process. What you reach when you supposedly end this process is infinity. So we can study infinity from a mathematically precise perspective. So an infinite set is a set which is not finite, basically. A non-empty set which is not finite. And a finite set is defined as a set which can be put in bijection, which means on 1 1 and on 2 correspondence with a section of the integers, which is a set of the form 1, comma 2, comma 3, so on until n for any fixed finite natural number n. So if a set can be put in bijection with a section of the integers, it's called a finite set. And a set which cannot be put in bijection with any section of the integers, with any finite set, is defined as an infinite set. So take any n and take the set 1, 2, 3, so on until the number n. So an infinite set cannot be mapped to this set in a 1, 1 onto fashion. That is the definition of infinity. So a seemingly incomprehensible fact is that there are various levels of infinity. The first level of infinity is what is known as a countably infinite set, which is the so-called size or cardinality of the set of natural numbers. So an infinite set which can be put in a 1 1 onto correspondence with the set of natural numbers is known as a countably infinite set. So that is just the first level of infinity, and it's the smallest infinity that you can conceive of. But the next level of infinity is the infinity of the set of real numbers, which is the same as the infinity of the set of all subsets of the set of natural numbers, which is known as the power set of the natural numbers. So the size of the real numbers is the same as the size of the power set of the natural numbers. And this is the first level of infinity which is not countable. So it's called uncountably infinite. So the set of real numbers or the set of subsets of the natural numbers is uncountably infinite, which is a greater infinity than the countably infinite infinity which we just discussed. So now you consider the set of all subsets of the real numbers, and you get an even larger infinity, which is the size of the power set of the real numbers. You can just keep iterating this process, repeating this process again and again to get ever larger levels of infinity. So there is a hypothesis in set theory called the continuum hypothesis, which states that there is no level of infinity between the size of an infinite set A and the size of its power set P of A, which is the set of all subsets of A. That is called the continuum hypothesis, and it is currently unknown whether this is a true statement. So, assuming the continuum hypothesis, the infinity of real numbers is the first infinity strictly larger than the infinity of natural numbers. The infinity of the power set of the real numbers is the first infinity strictly larger than the infinity of the real numbers, and so on and so forth. So, infinity is actually very deeply connected to spirituality because the ultimate truth is infinite, it's boundless, which means it cannot be contained in any finite collection of objects. If you look closely, the set of all thoughts that you have had in your life is a finite set, and new thoughts keep arising again and again, again and again, regardless of how many thoughts you've thought until now. So it's clear that thought is never ending if you just refer to your direct experience. So that is due to the infinitude of reality. All possible thoughts are already contained in consciousness here and now. And there are infinitely many thoughts in consciousness. And they keep arising. Ever new thoughts keep arising. And if you look closely, desire is also infinite because whatever you attain, you want something more. Whatever you've attained in life so far, you still want something more. So it's clear that desire is leading you towards infinity, basically. Because whatever you want, you want. Whatever you get, you want something more. You do well in 10th, you want to do well in 12th. You do well in 12th, you're going to want to get into IIT. You get into IIT, you want to do well in the examinations and the grading. You do well in the grading, you want to get placed wherever you want to get placed. You get placed, you want promotions. You get promotions, you want to become the CEO. You become the CEO, you want to create some greater impact than that. It's a never ending process. So it's clear that we are being led on towards infinity by reality. Because infinity is defined as that which is greater than any quantity that you can think of, any number that you can think of. As which follows from the technical definition that we just gave. So the way out of this apparently endless pursuit of more is to see that what is already infinite here and now, which means that you don't have to pursue anything. You're running after something that you already have. So hints of infinity are given to us by reality in abundance. If you look at the number of stars in the Milky Way, the number of galaxies in the observable universe, the number of ants on planet Earth, the number of cells in the typical human body, the number of pebbles on planet Earth, the number of leaves on planet Earth, just keep as an experiment, count every object, like count, keep a count of how many objects you perceive in a day, and after 6 months check the value of that count. It will become clear to you that reality is overflowing with abundance, with infinitude. In fact, it is infinite. Reality is infinite, there is no doubt about it. And infinity is what we all seek to perceive, because once we perceive infinity, that is the end of desire, because once you're already boundless, what more could you want? So infinity is closely linked to the spiritual pursuit. We'll discuss more of this in the future.